So what really stood out to me with your brother Jim today on Breakfast Club, Steve, was he was talking about
Yeah.
this thing he calls a paradigm filter, and like our subconscious will take experiences and make those into a filter now that we filter new experiences through or something like that, which can really have a damaging effect on us.
Yeah.
Perfect example. Um, you know, uh, he brought up you're trying to close a deal and it's even your friends and you're at the 11th hour and you think you're going to make your money and pay your bills and all of a sudden they leave you for a competitor and you're like,
Yeah.
what the heck? And then in your mind you think, I can't trust anybody, and then
Yeah.
this now becomes some kind of a paradigm filter in your subconscious to where
Yeah.
you're just going to now just assume
Mhm.
that people are not being honest with me, they're going to screw me over, that kind of a thing. I thought that was very interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, everybody's going to shop me,
Yeah.
or, realtors aren't loyal. I think here's what's interesting. Our past experiences frame our future expectations. And what happens is, like, I'll never forget, like if you ever call an agent and they're like, don't ever call me. I've got five other lenders
Yeah.
this week have called me. And I hear
Yeah.
that. And in that right moment, that my emotion was more heightened because I was already a little reluctant to make a
Mm,
call.
mm.
And then all of a sudden I hear what I feared, right? Don't ever call me. I don't need you. I'm too busy, whatever it is. That past experience now begins to shape my future expectation. When I
Mm.
go to pick up the call, I'm looking for the rejection. I'm looking for the negative experience. When in reality, they're not rejecting you, they're just rejecting the offer.
Hmm.
But a past experience has now created this internal fear, this internal limiting belief. And I think it's so powerful, man. Paradigms, anytime you feel fear, anytime there's something that like you want to take action, but you're almost paralyzed, Frank, we have to ask ourselves, what was the experience that's creating that paralysis?
Hmm. Yeah, we have to ask that and we have to dissect that. Here's the thing, Steve. This type of thing can cause originators to get out of the business.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, they'll
100%.
just, it happens once, it happens twice, maybe it happens again. Maybe it's been a
Yeah.
period of 3 or 4 years and it happened for
Yeah.
the 15th time,
Yeah.
and they're just like, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I'm done with this. Right. And
Yeah.
it's terrible because it doesn't need to be that way, right? Number one, and we're really potentially flushing an amazing career down the toilet
Right.
over some experiences that have now become some sort of paradigm filter in my subconscious. When in
Yeah.
reality, right, it's just an experience, man.
Yeah.
It's just something happened. It's just an experience. You can move on, and you can still excel and do great things, right? But we just have to get. What do you think the thought is, Steve? On how do I unwind that? How do I unravel that? We didn't really have time to explore that with your brother, but
Yeah.
how do
Hey,
we unravel
well,
it?
I tell you, for me personally, what I've had to do is when you acknowledge it and you recognize, man, that's a past experience. Where did, like, if I feel heightened, when I hear a realtor say something and it's negative, and all of a sudden I feel triggered, and I go from a 1 to a 7 or one to
Yeah,
10 or 1 to 8.
yeah,
I think what you got to do is, number one, just recognize it, write it down. What was that?
yeah,
Because to go from a 1 to a 7 or one
yeah,
to a 10, it's just not normal.
yeah,
And what it'll be is like this inner kid just jumps up and screams, is like, you won't talk to me like that, or
yeah.
you're not going to treat me that way. Or, anytime you feel or hear things like that, I think you identify it. Then number two, you just got to go back and you got to say, why did that hit a 10? Why did that hit a 7? Why did that hit an 8? And for me personally, I just go back to those spots and I begin to resolve it. Like, listen, Frank, I'll never forget. I was broke, 25 years old, brand new in the business. I had a ton of debt. I had four houses that were going into foreclosure. We just got out of a failed real estate business. I owed $250,000 to the bank and I'm newly married.
Hmm.
Hello, that's a good spot to
Yeah.
be in.
Hmm.
I get into the mortgage spot and I start originating loans, and every dollar mattered to crawl out of the financial hole we had been
Right.
in.
Right.
And listen, Frank, I had a deal, and it was whenever these new EA level one approvals came out,
Yeah.
and I made a mistake 3 or 4 days before closing,
Mm.
and all I needed was one extra day, and I could fix it. But the realtor absolutely refused to extend for anybody.
Mm.
So I ended up very quietly, where nobody knew about it except me. I ended up having to write a check to close that deal. I
Mm.
drove an hour and a half to help the buyers get signed, and nobody knew I lost my tail. And the realtor, who happened to be my sister-in-law's sister,
Wow.
would not extend it one day.
Wow.
And you talk about a heightened emotion, and I'll never forget the emotion and just the anguish that I
Anxiety.
felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was so desperate to close loans, and that would have been a healthy commission.
Mm.
And I'll never forget, it goes, that's where there were crossroads like that in our lives, where you had something, you expected a commission, and a realtor at the last minute referred it to another loan officer who had an eighth lower in interest rate. You needed that commission to close. It didn't close. You went later behind on a payment, and you're sitting here saying, I will never trust an agent again. That's
Yeah.
what agents do.
Right.
That's what people do. And what I'll never forget, when I was at that crossroads, there was something that rose up on the inside, and it's something we say all the time around here. I can either get bitter or I can
Mm.
get better.
Mm.
And you know what? The truth is, if I would have known that there was a EA level one adjustment and there was a pricing adjustment, I could have headed off earlier. It wasn't her fault. The
Yeah.
truth is, she wasn't willing to extend the closing, even
Mm.
though it would have helped me. But the reality is, I should have known better. So
Mm.
at the end of the day, I can be bitter. And
Right.
when I identify that that might have been a place of bitter, I have to choose to get better and say,
Mm.
look, two things. I release forgiveness, because I think there are things where it's like you'll be angry and resentful, and I just, for me personally, I just release forgiveness. They didn't know any better.
Mm.
And you know what? I'm going to get better. I'm not going to get bitter. So I'm going to walk this out. And anytime I hear, I will never trust that agent, I will never, you won't ever, those
Mm.
kind of inner vow type words, like when you're saying them, I can't believe that I'll never be put in that position again.
Yeah.
I won't ever let an underwriter treat me that way. I won't ever let an agent treat me that
Mm.
way. I'll
Mm.
never let this borrow, like, they won't ever do that again. Those are places where there was a heightened emotion to a circumstance, and we have to identify it. And when you do, you can walk through it. Half the battle is just knowing it's there. Then,
Yeah.
when you know it's there, you release forgiveness, you identify the bitterness, and you choose to get better. And then you begin to replace it. Hey, listen, I used to say I hate prospecting because, and what I began to do is I literally, now I wrote it out. It's like, I love prospecting.
Mm.
So whatever the negative is, find a positive, and you can walk yourself out of that rut by
Mm.
identifying it, releasing forgiveness, and having a vision statement that moves you forward, so that when it comes back up, you're saying, no, I'm not stuck. Listen, that was a bad experience. I wouldn't recommend anybody go back through that one.
Right.
But I will be better, not bitter. And here's what I choose to do to take an advancement. So
Yeah. That's
that's,
all
I mean, and
that's all really
that
good
happens
stuff,
to all
man.
of us, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate you being able to dissect that for everybody, because that's pretty good. And I think one of the most important takeaways I got from what you just said there was, and your brother did bring this up too, and it's kind of the thing that I missed here, is that when you're running something through one of these paradigm filters, when you
Yeah,
start to become heightened, right? When
that's it.
you
Yeah.
start, you start to feel elevated, like
Mhm.
something's happening here that I'm not into. It could be, like you said, that call to a realtor just trying to set an appointment. They're ornery, they're not in a good mood, or
Sure.
whatever. And then you start to get elevated, like you can feel yourself like
Yeah.
getting emotional about it, or
Yeah.
stressed, or anxiety. And that's the identifier.
That's it.
That's
Yep.
the identifier. Say, okay, so when that you get through with that call, that's the time to sit for a second and just
Yeah.
chill out and just go,
Yeah.
okay, wait a second. Wait a
What
second.
just
What
happened?
happened there? Why did
Yeah.
that happen?
Yeah.
And understand the person just wasn't having a good day. They just didn't want my offer. Big deal. Move.
Right.
It's okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
But let's not go to the extreme of, this is why I don't like doing this, right? Because that's are the result of past bad experience
That's
that
right.
you have somehow now ingrained in your subconscious as a paradigm filter, which is why
Mm-hmm.
you're feeling that way right now. So the more we
Mm-hmm.
can identify that, and then we can start to get past these things. You know what I mean? Not
100%.
get better, and not get better, get better, right?
Yeah.
And move on and just continue to, in fact, change it. It's okay. I love making these calls. These calls are great. You know why? Because there's someone that's on the other end of this line today that's going to be just awesome. Just completely awesome.
Hey, you know what you're doing, Frank? You're replacing the lie with truth.
Yeah.
See, when your paradigm goes from I hate making cold calls or I hate making outbound prospecting calls to Frank, listen to this. You know why I love making calls? Whether they're cold, warm, hot, doesn't matter to me. You know why I love it? Because it helps me meet people with similar vision, values, and beliefs.
Hmm.
And when there's an alignment, we're able to link arms, join forces, and together we can make an even bigger impact in the lives of the families we serve.
Hmm.
And I think you have to take the lie and replace it with what the real truth is, man. That we're in a business to make a difference. And look, so what? Somebody had a bad day. So what? Someone was ugly to you. You got to
Hmm.
realize we got to move past that. They're not attacking you. It's more about them than it is you. You just happen to be the recipient of their bad day.
Hmm.
And the
Hmm.
truth is, I'm not going to let your bad day affect who I am and what I'm called to be and do. I'm
Hmm.
called to make a difference. I'm called to impact the families. I'm called to help my family financially. Like when your calling and your purpose becomes greater than their, grumpiness, you win.
Yeah.
And you know what a victim is? And I've been thinking a lot about this. A victim is somebody who doesn't have a choice.
Hmm. Right.
A victim is
Yeah.
somebody who is
Doesn't have a choice.
there's no choice involved. I mean, a true victim is there is no choice. I have been literally, you are forced into whatever it is
Yeah.
that's happening to you. You know what a champion is? A champion is somebody who has a choice.
Hmm.
And the reality is, every one of us have a choice every single day.
Hmm. Hmm.
Today, I'm going to choose to live in a past experience or paradigm, or I'm going to choose. Hey, I'll give you an example. And I know we're going a little bit long, but I think
Yeah.
this will help everybody. Yesterday, me and my son, Lucas, he's 9 years old, we're playing football and we're just throwing the ball. He's a really good catcher. But my older son got involved, and all of a sudden he kind of backed down. And it was like, because my older son's 12, he's 9, and he's like dominating.
Hmm.
And I really was working with Lucas yesterday, and I said, brother, you're not going to cower down. You're going to stand up. You're going to
Hmm.
step up. And instead of having this, oh man, I'll never catch the ball, you're going to rise up and push past and push through. Because here's what happens: champions don't move through emotion because he dropped the ball and all of a sudden he's upset. And I said,
Hmm.
brother, you don't have the right to be upset. You
Hmm.
got the right to get your butt up and catch the next ball. And if you
Hmm.
drop a ball, you drop a ball. But guess what? You put 100% in catching the next ball. See, the problem is we make a call and it's a bad call. You have a bad conversation and they say something ugly. And all of a sudden, my emotion says, well, I'm not making any more calls.
Hmm.
And the truth is, shake it off. It's like playing football. You
Yeah.
catch the ball, you miss it. It doesn't matter. You know what the
Yeah.
best players do? When they have a bad play, the next one is the one that's a touchdown.
Hmm.
They're not emotionally affected by a bad play.
Hmm.
And a champion in the ring is somebody who knows how to stand up. And if something bad happens, the next play is not emotional, it's
Hmm.
tactical. Why?
Hmm.
Because the purpose of who I am and what I'm called to do. And look, when we play big, when we make a lot of money, when we impact lives, God is honored.
Hmm.
God's glorified when we play big,
Hmm.
not when we cower down because my feelings got hurt or I had a bad
Hmm.
call or it was
Hmm.
a tough day. Leaders lead. And that, like yesterday, I was really inspiring Lucas. I'm like, brother, you're too emotional and we're going to work past this. It's not emotional, it's tactical.
Hmm.
Catch the ball. You missed it. So what? Catch
Catch
the
it.
next ball.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's the same way in our business, but we got to identify where it's coming from, acknowledge it's there, and replace the lie with truth and just get up and take the reps. So,
Steve, I got to tell you, we got to wrap this up real quick, but I got to tell you, I love chatting with you and I love being with you on our mortgage team together.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love it so much because, this conversation that we're having, we tend to have these conversations with our whole team all the
yeah.
time.
Oh,
Weekly,
yeah.
we're together at least twice a week. We're having these types of chats. encouraging each other, lifting each other up, helping each other with these common, issues that most loan officers are plagued with. And I got to tell you, it's such a blessing and a privilege to be on the team with you, man, and have these types of conversations. I'm so happy we get to do these podcasts like this, just for everybody else who's out there. Maybe you can get something from this. But I got to tell you, man, I'm just going to say it right now. If you're interested in learning more about what we got going on, man, just reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you. You can just go to frankcall.com, 15 minutes with me. We can have a chat, because I think a lot of loan officers go through this, Steve, and I think that a lot of originators just don't have an outlet or outlet's not the right word. They don't have a community that they can plug into that's every day, all day, every day. You know what I mean? Like this, So I just want to let you guys know this is available to you. You know what I mean? And if you want to chat about it, just go to frankcall.com. We can chat about it. With that, we got to get out of here, brother. I really appreciate your insights. Having your brother, Jim Kyle's on the Breakfast Club today was great. And I would just encourage you all to come to Loan Officer Breakfast Club as much as you can as well. So with that, let's get out of here, man. Let's make something happen today. All right. See you.